Morning guys, welcome back to the Ahn Rho Project. This is a psychiatric self-therapeutic multimedia project to solve problems, challenges, obstacles in our lives, as well as a self-improvement process to reach the high school's ambitions set for ourselves and those around us. With that being said, diving right into a view like introduction and summary into the Ahn Rho Project, how we break it down into domains of life, sub-series, analogies, all that kind of jazz, including the copyright-free music and the content, live streaming schedule. All that stuff can be found in previous live streams for the past 3.5 years, straight up to January 2021. So if you want, you can check that out. With that being said, inside this particular stream, let's break down the table of contents and the segments. Again, 14-minute long stream, probably max 15 minutes. And then we're going to break it down into maybe about 8 different segments. So first and foremost, we're going to start with images today. Again, this one seems to be off of Instagram, Stoic Reflections. Well, I also one from Bakery right here, and I don't want to show these photographs too much, so I'm going to drag them down, but basically we're going to run through these first two and the backstory behind them, and a little bit of commentary. After that, the third segment is usually got to do with food and dietetics, a little bit of photography, and just inventory. But I don't really have anything like that today. I can just talk a little bit about it because I don't have any photographs. It's just some chips, really. And then after that, the fourth segment of the stream, we're trying to get up, be a little bit more active. So you see in the backdrop where my hand is. This is region D1 and that's region D2. And for the first time, we have to actually move region D2 in a very significant way regarding these two mattresses. And then we have to rearrange, and relocate a lot of these items that are sitting on top of the bed. And that's because the bed mattress I'm going to give over to my brother when he comes back, and he's actually going to come back today as far as I'm concerned, and I know. Okay, with that being said, that's going to be the fifth segment. After that, what we're going to do is we're going to sit back down here, just like on this chair right here right now, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the title right here. It says dual work experience. Now obviously that's just a title, but I can't fit the entire name inside there, but it really is just to symbolize the fact that there's this kind of something's been bothering me from the workplace since yesterday. Just one of those things that gets to me, and it may be relatable to some of you because it's just the stress, the strain on the job, but also at the same time it's a very positive way to end the day, because that's the irony of it. It's this kind of paradox here where it was a good day and it was a bad day, and I want to talk a little bit about that and just capture the thoughts on hand. After that, the sixth segment, right, we're going to move on to 7 and 8. 7 is most likely either going to be any comments. If you have anything to say, any questions, feel free to leave it below. If you have some memes or you just want to joke around, go ahead, go for it. It's all shits and giggles. And then on the side here, it could also be the digital stuff that we have to do for databasing, Excel, fitness, but I don't really think I'll be able to get to that. With that being said, there will be 2, and then at the very end we're going to deliver a take-home message. So at the end, that's about it. If you want to continue, there's basically just 2 things to keep in mind. The first one being that yes, I am trying to keep this real, raw, and genuine. I have to cover the good, the bad, and the ugly, and that's because this is, by analogy, a time capsule of what I'm supposed to cover. A time capsule of my life, by analogy. That's what the Ahn Rho Project partly is. And then another thing that I have to mention very briefly is that, of course, it's supposed to be a high utility stream. It has to be useful for me. It has to be beneficial in some way. And if it's not, then there's not really much point in me doing it right now, unless it's of actual use to someone else. I don't think I have any value to offer to anybody who's watching really right now, but go for it if you want, and you're always welcome to drop by. So why don't we get started with the images? We're going to start with the third segment right here. So Instagram, right, we have these 2 photographs. One's from a bakery nearby where I live, and this guy here is I believe he's the owner, so the grandfather. So it's a really nice family-run business, and basically you see his picture here, making all these pastries because they're having to relocate because of the whole COVID-19 pandemic stuff. And it's difficult to manage a business like this when everything is shut down, especially he's in kind of the food business, and that they can only do pickup and delivery and stuff like that, if at all. And then on the right hand side here, so he's had to relocate, and it's going to be their whole community is really just a little bit saddened. They're hoping that when they relocate, it will be still in the same area. Next, so I'm going to drag this down here, kind of get rid of that one. This one's from Stoic Reflections, the channel over on Instagram page. So the quote of today is, compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not someone else today. And obviously, this is one of those self-improvement things, just to make sure that you stay afloat, stop comparing yourself to other people and getting disappointed or becoming jealous or envious or just overall getting frustrated that you're not where they are. Even if you're not blaming them, disappointment in yourself doesn't really help you out that much. I mean, use it, like vent it out just for the moment, but then use that energy and channel it into something positive that will actually get you to where you want to be. And one of the best things to do, of course, is just to compare yourself to who you were yesterday and remind yourself how much you've grown, and that you should keep that up, keep up the momentum, and continue to grow and change. So that being said, that's that. We have 2 images there. I'm gonna remove that and just talk a little bit about the food that I ate today. Aside from just oatmeal in the breakfast morning with the supplements, but also, like I said, I don't have photography today, but basically a canister of Pringles. I've taken a snapshot of this before, this type of food before, so it's not too urgent whether or not I have a photograph of it. Just think of Pringles, mega-sized chips, sour cream and onion. And I ate about 3 portions out of 6 from my garden, so it's a class 2 item. I'm not supposed to eat it. I have documented it over here, and in fact, I should mention, you know what, we'll do the 8th segment right here. So one of these here is supposed to be inventory and finances. So I'm supposed to do the entry of that particular food item inside that Excel databasing system, and then just keep track of sort of a gratitude log of things that I've taken from other people, received from other people. Okay, so we kind of knocked 2 things off at the same time there. Let's get up. This is the 5th segment. This is the most active portion of the stream today because there's quite a bit to get through. And like I said, my brother's coming back today, so he's gonna be renting out the other room. And what that means for me is that, first of all this stuff here, I have to say that Region D1, there's this crate here. All that stuff really belongs to him, including the t-shirt at the backdrop here. You can see that Nike t-shirt right here. Alright. You can barely see it. Yeah, it says Nike. Alright, and then we have these 2 mattresses, these large mattresses against the wall. I'm also going to move these 2 to him, clean the bed sheets as well. So what that means for Region D1 is I obviously have to remove all this stuff here on top, aside from the t-shirt, which is his, as well as some envelopes that are his. So from this clothing to my work-related materials to my lunch and supplements to these food items, as well as cutlery here, the chopsticks, all the stuff needs to get off. The most immediate thing I can do right now is, so this is Region D1, this is Region D2, and that's D3 here, D4 over there. So I'm going to move this bag of clothing, and you can see the tag here. I still haven't gone to scanning everything out. It says $260. Believe me, I didn't buy it for that much. I bought it for actually only 60, and so that was like 80% off. But basically, it's winter clothing. I always do this kind of stuff when time comes. I have a real kind of knack for winter clothing because it keeps me warm. It's just kind of, I tend to wear winter clothing in the spring and the fall and in winter, so kind of 9 months of the year. That's basically that. So I'm going to move that over there. You can see that now suddenly here it's so much cleaner just because that's out of the way. You can see now I haven't really decided what I'm going to do with the food here. I have to figure that out. But the most urgent thing is when my brother comes back today, he's probably going to sleep on the bed mattress, either from the one that he's got back out of town, he's going to bring it here, or he's going to use this. Now, I can always just say, listen, can you just give me 2 days, and then I'll sort it out, and then I'll move the bed mattress over to your room, and that'll be like over the weekend, right? Or we could do it today. So, we'll find out. What I'm going to do right now is just say, okay, we have to reorient where these things go. So aside from just Region D4, where it's temporary stuff, we're going to move some stuff here. Also in Region E, this kind of storage space here with the university stuff. So what I noticed, so first of all, I have to do the laundry, right? Tomorrow morning, I'm going to move all this stuff here right now. Shit, something just fell down. Put it over here. Okay, it's just kind of temporary. And then the rest over here, it seems like you have these equipment, stuff like this pair of shoes, as well these sandals. Basically, after I wash the floor, I sweep and mop the floor up and sanitize everything. We're going to, and that's down the road, maybe a month or 2 down the road. I'm gonna start wearing them. We also have these kind of shin guards, two pairs, so 4 pieces. I want to place them over here. So we have these shin guards as well as these sandals. So you see in region E, E1, E2, we already have sandals here. So I'm just gonna place them right here and put the shin guards on top. Kind of makes sense to put all this kind of sportswear equipment and stuff together. So already you can see, again, it's very clear now what's here, and this entire guest bed packaging needs to probably be put down onto the side, or maybe, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. I don't want to put it on the floor, so I might have to move region D4. All this, what is really these black bags on which the clothing sits, is just donation clothing that I want to give away, but obviously due to the COVID pandemic, I can't give them away. No one's going to accept it, so I have to move to the side. Maybe when the bed mattresses are gone outside of the room, I'll move region D4 towards all the equipment there over to the, I'm going to remove all this stuff here from region D4 over to D2 against the wall, and I can probably put all this stuff here, like toilet paper, all this kind of stuff, food, shit like that, shenanigans. I can put all this kind of stuff right on top of the stuff there, the clothing that's meant for donation. Now I should mention something fell down here. It's like spoons and disposable spoons, so if I can reach it, I can barely reach it, so I guess it's just garbage now. Can't do too much about it because it's spoons and probably spill out, so a little pissed off right now, but I'm trying to contain myself. So let's sit down. So the region, back to A5, let's sit down, let's talk a little bit about that works related stuff. We have about 3.5 minutes, 2.5 minutes. Alright, so work, duality. Alright, so my owner at the workplace, PB, yesterday, I was working with him throughout maybe 60% of my time that I was there, so maybe about 4 or 5 hours, and we hit it off kind of meh. It wasn't that great. Like I said, relations between me and management have really soured, between me and pretty much the entire company, even though they are amazing people who are really disciplined, hardworking, and responsible, and they're very caring, but it's the role that I'm taking on, and the fact is I'm the bottleneck. And so between me and the 25 other people who really just feed into me, it was barely manageable. And so just the situation, the environment meant that I was never going to be able to maintain a long-lasting relationship with most of the people. Anyways, the point is, PB, as the owner, came up, and for the first time, two incidents happened in the workplace that kind of left a good and bad impression. So I left off very happy yesterday, and then I woke up today very unhappy, very pissed off and angry. And so there was a moment where basically I was able to communicate to him that I got trust issues, and I asked him, can I trust you? And again, this relates to domestic violence and suicide, depression, a lot of bullshit that's been happening down for the past 3 decades. But basically, I don't trust anyone. And then I asked, can I trust you? Because I see that he's someone I can trust, that's for sure. But I can't get my behavior to change, even though I theoretically know, I see I can trust this man right here, but I don't actually act like I trust him. And so I had to get myself to change. I asked him, can I trust you? And eventually he joked, like, that's dangerous and stuff like that. So it was a good laugh, but then I was serious, and I said, I got trust issues. And he took a moment, took a pause, said some stuff, and then he's like, I won't let you down. I won't let you down. And so that's one thing that was good, but of course the day also ended kind of meh, because later on I'm still the bottleneck, and there's 25 different people, and they all just kind of got really loud and obnoxious because they were trying to figure out some order that went wrong. And that's not their fault necessarily. It's just because the job's difficult for them too. Okay, and they all got personal problems, just like I have my personal issues too, right? So just be a little bit charitable here. So the point is that's what happened. So it was a good and bad experience. And at least we made progress. So that's some conflict up there. I noticed I only have like 30 seconds left. So I'm very glad there's no comments, so we can skip that segment. Also, we already did the databasing there in terms of, I talked about inventory. So take home message, take care of your health, your finances, yourself. Make sure you become a strong, disciplined, responsible individual as usual. I gotta continue off with the after image of how the room changes tomorrow morning. And so with that being said, hope to see a better version of yourself. So this is the Ahn Rho Project. Thank you for tuning in, and I'm signing out. Ciao.